Hello. Hi.
Hey.
We ended the countdown early. Sorry, everybody. Hi. Hi, everyone who's tuned in. Thanks for coming to listen. And excellent playing, Anne Ragondi. I'm very excited to have you here. Me and Anne were classmates for 1 year in Maastricht.
Yeah.
Yes. But I haven't seen you since I guess you finished a year ago, and then I had one more
Yeah.
year. Yeah. So,
Yes.
um, welcome everyone to the Messy Desk Show with Anne Belleguic. I finally learned how to say your name today.
Perfect.
Perfect. And yeah, everyone who's watching, please smash the like and share button. And if you have questions for Anne, just write them in the chat. And if one of us is too loud, please tell me so I can adjust it. But Anne, why don't you tell people just really quickly a little bit about yourself before we listen to you play? So just quick version of who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So now, I was studying with Carlo in Maastricht for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my master so last year, and then I came back in Paris
Nice.
because I was from Paris at the very beginning,
Yes.
and so since 1 year now I am teaching in Sartrouville. So it's a city next to Paris,
Cool.
and also in another music school.
Nice.
Next, actually, it's the music school. I was at this music school when I began guitar.
Oh, nice. So you came
So
back.
it was really funny because some of my colleagues or the teacher were my teacher before. So
Nice.
it's weird, but now it's really nice. So
It's
so
good.
yeah, now my life is really about teaching, and
Nice.
it's cool.
And you were still doing some gigs before the pandemic, right? Like you're still playing in a duo, I think, right? For voice and guitar.
Yes, with Sophie. Actually, since 1 year now, it's complicated because she's still studying in Maastricht. Now
Oh, okay.
she's going to be in a master. And in July, I went to see her because
Nice.
she was in the south of France, and we were like, okay, we're going to play a lot. But at the end, when we met again, we were, oh, okay, just holidays. So,
Nice. Nice.
but we still want to play together and to have concert. This year it was a bit crazy with.
Mm-hmm.
Me at the very beginning it was complicated because I just come back to Paris, and so I have to find an apartment, a job, and all these things. So
Yeah, I mean, even when you,
uh,
even if you had concerts lined up, like Jessica and I had some, and just we had to postpone everything because
yeah, of course.
pandemic. So yeah. Anyways, everyone's
Yeah.
behind. Some nice comments from people. Hi everyone. Taiwo says beautiful. Good evening and nice watching you. And greetings from Nigeria. Taiwo was on last week.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Pablo says, yo, what's up? Hi, Pablo. And Luis Costello says hi. Magdalena Benfic says hi. Hi, Magdalena.
Oh, hi.
And Ben Diamond says, beautiful Regandi. For sure. Oh, Pablo says, I think your mic could be louder, Michael. Thank you, Pablo. I'm always too loud, so I always turn myself down now, but I guess. Tell me if that's better, okay? All right, we're going to listen to some of your playing now, and some actual guitar
Okay.
music. So you're playing a piece called Yanka, right?
Yeah, Yanka or Yansa?
Okay, we're not
I
sure.
will ask.
Okay. And who is the composer of this piece?
Well, the composer is my first guitar teacher, so
Ah, cool.
someone really important for me. And so we didn't meet for a long time because I moved to Strasbourg and then in the Netherlands. But when I came back here, we we were in contact, so
Nice. And the
it was
sorry,
nice.
your former teacher's name is
Jean-Michel Oberlon, and he's
okay, Jean
also a
Michel.
composer.
Composer, guitarist, right?
Yeah, guitarist, pianist also,
Cool.
and he composed a lot for guitar, piano, voices.
Nice. And so now you're
So
recording his music. Nice. What is this piece about,
yeah.
Yanka? Is it a name?
No, I think it means I'm not sure. I will ask, but
Okay.
I think it's more like a complaint or something.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's not a name.
Okay, it's not the name. Okay. Nice. And what language is it? You said Portuguese?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, cool. Nice. Well, let's listen to your recording of Yanka. Where did you make this recording? Was it at home or
Yes, at his home. He has like a studio in his own
cool?
room, so
Nice. He helped you record it. Awesome. All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
let's listen to Yanka or Jansa. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Very nice. Wonderful. Okay, everyone who's saying my mic is too low, let me know if it's better now. That's a beautiful piece. It's like a sort of an arpeggio study, I was saying.
Yes, you have a first part with arpeggio, and then like a melody part, and then comes back the arpeggio.
Right, yeah.
Which is not so easy.
Yeah.
Even if it seems fluent, it's a bit hard.
Yeah, to go to switch modes a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Nice. Well, I mean, you told a little bit about what you're doing now, which is great, but how did you get to where you are now? Like, I know you studied, well, I found out by reading your bio, I don't think I knew this before, but that you studied with Duo Melis also
Yeah.
in Strasbourg, right? So,
Yes.
where did you start with the guitar? How did you end up there? What's kind of the story of how you got to where you are now?
I've discovered the guitar at the age of 11. So my first teacher, it was in school music, so where I teach now, and it was so with Jean-Michel, and I spent 4 years with him, and after I went to the Conservatory with Joël Gégard, which is also a good friend of JDK Perrois.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I also met JDK at this time during masterclass on stage. So it was really nice. And I really discovered the classical world with Joël, my second teacher.
Cool, okay.
And so it was 5 years. So I was really into the classical guitar. Before it was also a classical technique, but more open. And then I really went at the conservatory with more academic.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like a lot of my students where I'm teaching
Yeah.
them classical technique, but we're doing, you know, whatever sort of tunes they want to learn at the same time. We're doing some folk music or doing music from video games or films that I'm arranging. But yeah, it's the basis in classical technique. I think sometimes that's a good gateway for kids. You know?
Yeah, generally I'm saying this because a lot of my students, when they're little, they want to be classical, no, not classical, electric guitarists. So, but their parents want classical guitar because it's more soft. It's softer than electric.
Yeah.
So, but generally I say it's good to begin with classical, and then you can go everywhere you want.
Yeah, it's not even just about what music you play, right? Because if you teach a student good classical technique for left and right hand, and then maybe they also learn to use a pick, but they're still understanding rhythm, articulation, you know, good positions and movements, effective motion, all this stuff. Even if they do some classical pieces with you because you want to work on that, even if they play some electric guitar on the side, you still apply the same principles, I think, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you teach only classical repertoire pretty much, or?
Yes, in conservatory, yes. With private students, sometimes it depends.
Yeah.
At the moment, yes, it's just classical. But I had a student when I was in Strasbourg. She was so in private class, and she was more into folks music. So I met a lot of transcription, and I discovered a bit transcription with her. Because she was like, okay, I love this song, I want to play it at the guitar. So I was listening a lot of videos on YouTube of people playing Taylor Swift or all this thing. And so I had to find a transcription, but nice to play with classical style.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool, actually, cool experience. And sometimes it was sounding very, very good. So it's nice also.
Yeah, nice, cool. People, if you have questions for Anne, please put them in the chat. Or if you have your own thoughts on whatever we're discussing, please comment, because we'd love to hear from you and get some feedback on all these ideas. So, so you discovered classical guitar with your teacher, your second teacher in France. You worked a little bit with JDK Perrois. And then how did you choose to go study with Duo Melis? I mean, I love Duo Melis, but what was the reason?
It's because it was funny, because the first classical guitar concert I've seen, it was Duo Melis.
Ah, cool.
And so it was Anna Vidovic and Duo Melis in Paris.
Nice.
So it was like the first after GDKL, the very first guitarist classical I know I discovered with a recording and everything, it was GDKL Perrois, and then Duo Melis and Belleguic, and so I loved this concert, and it was really important moment because it was the first time I was watching something like this. So it was like an evidence when I was received in Strasbourg.
Yeah.
I remember I was thinking I had failed to the exam, to the entrance exam. So I was like, okay, it's over. And then I received the response saying I was taken. So yeah, it was really, really cool.
Awesome.
And they are wonderful. I've spent 4 years with them.
Nice.
Doing a bachelor and also a pedagogy diploma next to it. And yeah, they're wonderful human being, guitarist, musician.
They were very nice. I met them in Calgary because they played a concert in Calgary, and they were there with their baby or their kid. I think he was maybe 1 or 2 at that time. It was a while ago, and they were lovely people and amazing musicians. So amazing. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the first concert thing, because I think the first classical guitar concert I ever heard was Dale Kavanagh.
Okay.
Which was very inspiring. And I worked with her a few times after that at some festivals in Canada, and she was one of the reasons I also kind of wanted to come to Europe. I didn't end up studying with her, but I knew she was around here, and so. But then also the second concert I went to was Thomas Villito, and then I ended up studying with him on Skype for a while. So I think sometimes the first artists you see, they kind of they become sort of important to you.
Yes.
And when you're looking for teachers, I mean, the classical guitar world is pretty small too, so. Like, if you want to study with someone you're willing to travel, you can kind of make it happen almost,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, of course,
you
have to pass the exam if you want to get the degree, but still.
Yeah.
Awesome. And did they teach, did you study with each of them individually, or did they teach together, or?
Well, normally it's individual.
Yeah.
So I was with Susanna.
Okay.
Susanna Prieto, but at the first year, she just had her baby.
Okay.
So she was not here. So I was with Alexis.
Okay.
For 1 year, and then she came back. So I had lesson with her, but sometimes also with Alexis. It was really mixed. Okay. So that was really nice because they are completely different in teaching. So both of them are amazing, but it's really not the same way of teaching.
Yeah.
Susanna was very important for me with technique.
Okay.
Because she has I think it's Spanish technique, but very it's really important for her, and I really learned technical stuff with her. And Alexis is more like crazy going. We've spent maybe 1 hour on one measure.
Yeah.
so it's really. But both of them are amazing.
Yeah.
And they are completed each other.
Yeah, I'm curious because they have a pretty, I don't want this to sound bad, but like a pretty similar sound, or it sounds like in their duo they try to have a very consistent sound and interpretation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
You mean between them?
Yeah, between them. They play the same kind of guitars too, right?
Yeah, I think it's maybe now they have changed, but when
Wagner's?
Yes, it was Wagner.
Wagner, okay. So they both play Wagner guitars, and they have, I mean, you can sort of tell them apart, but at the same time, their blend is very good and very consistent, and I think that's one of the reasons that makes their duo so special, is that it sounds like one thing, right? Which isn't to say that duos which do like very different things are bad. Like you think about like Julian Bream and John Williams, it's kind of special in a different way because it's like two opposites, So it's interesting that they teach differently, even though they sound, or they try to have a cohesive sound when they perform.
Yeah, I know. I mean, also I was surprised at the beginning, but sometimes they are. I'm joking, but sometimes they are fighting. I think for interpretation, it's not easy, but they have this will to have something uniform, like one guitar. Yeah. So they are really working on this, and yeah, I really liked this. I don't know, mood like of duo.
Yeah.
I like it. Also, I know another duo guitarist. I don't know if you know
I
them.
don't think so.
And they studied also when I was in bachelor. They were in master,
Hmm.
and they are also amazing. I recommend duo guitarists.
Cool.
They are also very very good duo.
I'll look them up. Yeah, I mean, sort of arguing in rehearsal is like something you do, I
Yeah,
think, regardless, but especially when you're a couple, you know.
yeah, of course.
I have a duo with my partner Jessica, and we
Yeah, no, it's about music interpretation, and when you know really good the other, you're more open also. You say really what you think. So
yeah, exactly.
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Although I think for us it's different because it's voice and guitar, and you probably know
Mm.
this from playing with
Yeah.
Sophie, that it, you can't do the uniform sound thing like you can with two
Mm.
guitars, right? So in that way, it's a little bit easier sometimes because it's sort of like you have your role and the other person has their role. Whereas in a guitar duo, it
Mm.
can be a bit more, I don't know, blended.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're doing the same instruments. So, and with another instrument, like I played with a flute, a violin, and then voice, and you have to be used to it. At the beginning, I remember it was really complicated because there are breathing and things we don't think when we're playing guitar. At least
Yes.
I was not thinking to all those things. And but I think even if you have different instruments, you can find some unity playing.
Yeah.
For I don't know, it's not the same thing, but now I know Sophie and I didn't play for a long time, for 1 year. But when we played together again in July, it was natural for us.
Yeah.
So at the end, you have some habits that you develop.
Yeah. It's also about unity in the music you play. Like, you know, making sure that um, you have. Oh, I think Anne might be frozen. I'm assuming you all can still hear me. One moment. I don't see her there. Anybody know any good jokes in the chat? Please put them in the chat if you know any good ones. I'm just gonna message Anne. Please. Okay. We're gonna work on getting Anne back here. While I'm getting Anne back in Zoom, everyone check out the links in the description. Actually, Anne has one of her own transcriptions for sale, which is in the description. I've got a link there. Let me see if I can get her back. Copy invite link. So you can check that out. And I also put links to all her YouTube channel, Facebook, all that stuff. 1 second, just gonna turn Zoom video off. There we go, until Anne comes back. And yeah, while I'm waiting here for Anne to reconnect, you can also check out the Patreon link if you want to support the show. There's also a page there with all the past episodes written out. Okay, since Anne's still reconnecting, I'm going to play one more recording of hers, so you guys can at least listen to her playing while I wait for her to come back. So we're going to listen to another one of her former teacher's compositions, Jean-Michel Oberland's, and this one's called Transit. So I'm going to play that recording while I get her back on the call. So this is also by her former teacher. Okay, Anne is back. She's just joining the Zoom call. She was offline but able to get back now. So she'll be here in 1 second. Beautiful piece. Does anyone have any questions for Anne just while she's rejoining the call? It would be nice to ask her some stuff. We're going to talk about transcription. We're going to do the listening game in a moment here, which is always fun. I have a feeling she's going to do really good on the listening game, actually. In the meantime, I will also announce Friday's episode, which is the last episode of season 2, will be with Alec Pearson, who's a guitarist in Vancouver, Canada, and that's going to be really fun. He's teaching at UBC, and he's written some new preludes. He's recently started composing not too long ago, and he's going to play those on the stream, which would be really cool. Anne is typing. Sorry, I'm having trouble getting her on the call, apparently. Are you able to join? Trying a last thing. I can restart the meeting if that's needed. That is needed. Sorry, everyone. I don't know what's going on. My internet is fine, so I'm trying to figure out. It's the same meeting link, so it shouldn't be a problem for her to rejoin. If you guys can hear a fan, it's like 35 degrees in the Netherlands right now, so I'm like just melting. Alright, maybe we should listen to some more music. She should be here any second. Lily DeVoe says, hello, I like her playing very much, very natural, fluent, thanks. Yes, I agree, very fluent playing. She plays extremely well. I will actually also, while we're here, I will quickly pull up the playlist of all the former Messy Desk episodes, so that you guys can see the past episodes if you want to. I'll put it in the chat. And, you know, if you want to watch any of the other older episodes, you can see it there. It's in the chat. Let me put it in the Facebook chat also. Okay, is Anne gonna get back on this call? I really hope so soon. Again, if anyone has any jokes they want to put in the chat, I would appreciate that, because I'm just trying to get Anne back here. Oh, she sees my message. Restart the meeting, is that what I should do? I think it is okay, but you're not joining. Okay, we're going to listen to another recording because she's still not able to join the meeting for the moment. We're going to listen to a piece called Sarara by Marco Pereira. We're back.
Yes, I am back.
And
I'm
it's
still
back.
fighting me with my Wi-Fi, but it's.
It's okay.
I hope it will be okay with the phone.
We're so happy to have you back, Anne. It's good. I don't think that the audience likes it very much when it's just me speaking awkwardly. Awkwardly being like, check out the Patreon, follow the channel, you know. Anyhow, cool. Okay, well, we're gonna do the most fun part of the show, which is the repertoire guessing game. So do you know how this works?
No, explain me.
Okay, I'm gonna play some recordings of guitar recordings, and you're going to guess the piece, the composer, or the player.
Okay, I'm not good at this, but I will try my best.
I'm sure you'll do great. So there's 3. So you can get 3 points for each one because there's the piece, the composer, and the player. Or you can get 2 or 1 depending on what you can guess. And I'll give you some hints, like I'll help you a little bit, you know. But yeah, and I tried to put it like easy to difficult, you know, but I don't know. It's not always easy to tell how easy something is for somebody else.
Yes.
And the audience is welcome to join in, but can you just don't look at the chat because I don't want you to cheat.
Okay, I will not.
No cheating. Okay. Recording number 1. Tell me what you think this is.
Okay.
Any idea?
Yeah, I know the piece, of course.
Yeah.
But saying what it is and who it is, I cannot.
Oh.
But I know the piece.
You know the piece. Okay.
Yeah. I can tell you, with me it's this. I always know the piece, but I don't know.
Alex Dunn already guessed it. But can you just like start guessing composers? Who does it sound like to you? Which composer? Any idea?
Yeah, South American, but...
Yes, you're right. South American. Start naming names.
I think I have a name, but I'm sure it's not Barrios.
It's Barrios.
It's Barrios, okay.
Yeah.
I had that.
Yeah.
Okay,
and,
so Barrios.
And the piece...
But the name of the piece...
The title translates to something along the lines of like nostalgia or sadness, or it's like it's not really a translatable to English, but it's like... And the first part of the title is named after a popular Brazilian form. I think it's Brazilian.
It's not choro.
Yes, choro.
Choro.
Choro de.
I don't know, but choro.
Choro, yeah, choro de saudade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, but
yeah,
you get half a point for the title because you got choro, and
okay.
then the player is an Australian player. Any idea?
Australian.
Very famous in like late 20th century, like I think 80s, 90s, early 2000s, that kind of time. 70s too. I guess he was famous in the 70s already.
70s?
70s, 80s, 90s.
No, John Williams is Australian?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, yeah. Very good. Okay, I really helped you on that one, so... But still.
Yeah.
Okay, 2.5 out of 3. Not bad. Okay, next one. Where is it? Here we go. Do you know?
I think I know, but now I never played it, for sure.
Yeah, and it is?
I might say more 19th century.
For the first time, Alex Dunn gets the piece wrong. It's not Classica, but you've got the composer right, Alex. Alex is usually in the chat getting all the answers right, but he got this one wrong.
Oh, okay. I'm not this kind of person.
It's okay. He's coming on the show next month, so I have to make the guessing game really hard for him.
Yeah, very high
Yeah.
level.
It's not 19th century actually. It's from the 20th century. This piece.
Okay.
I'll play a bit more.
So
maybe if I play a later section. Okay, throw this. Any idea?
No, but it's beautiful.
It is actually. Now that you mention 19th century, the piece is based on or in homage to a 19th century romantic composer, but it's written in the 20th century. It's sonata.
Okay.
Yeah, but
in homage.
It's not quite an homage.
So it could be not Rodrigo.
No, it's not Rodrigo. Oh, Ben Diamond has the player too. You already mentioned this player, by the way, in your life story. You mentioned this player.
Oh, okay. It's Carlo.
No, it's not Carlo. It's not Carlo.
No, it's not.
Earlier on in your story. Okay, do you want me to just tell you?
Yeah.
It's Ponce Sonata Romantica.
Okay.
Which is why you thought 19th century, it makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never really played Ponce. It's not a composer
okay.
I usually play. But yeah, it's interesting because now maybe I will play it.
Yeah.
It sounds beautiful.
Yeah, but this is actually really fast. So normally this movement is like dun dee dun dee da da dee dun, but she's dun dee dun dee. It's like almost double speed from normal performances, and the player is Anna Vidovic.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, and 0 out of 3 on that one.
Yeah, no.
It's okay. But you guessed romantic, so it's like the title Romantica, Maybe I should give you half a point for that. Okay, next one. If Magdalena was here, she could help us on this one.
It sounds like Bach, but I'm not sure.
It's Bach, yeah.
It's Bach? Yeah. Okay, so for Bach it's okay.
Bach, do you know at least what kind of transcription it is?
Fugue, I guess.
It's not a fugue, actually. This is a courant? Courants, but okay. Do you know what instrument is this from? Is what kind of set of pieces? I
don't remember this piece. It can be lute.
It's not
violin.
It's not actually. It's from a keyboard partita number 2 in C minor.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the player? This is great. Ben guessed something Baroque on a Smallman. Exactly. You're right, Ben. Something Baroque on a Smallman is correct.
So it's a small man.
Yeah, but
someone playing on a small man.
Here, maybe if you hear a bit more, you'll recognize the playing. Maybe. You already mentioned this player too. Ben, it's not violin partita number 2. It's keyboard partita number 2. Ben.
Okay.
He's writing in the chat.
Judica?
It's Judica. Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
okay.
And do you know who transcribed this? Maybe you know on his CD he plays a lot of this transcriptions by this other French guitarist. Is he French? I think he's French, the guitarist I'm thinking of.
French guitarist?
Who made some transcriptions that Judica plays. Or at least this one. Maybe you don't know this person. Tristan Manoukian?
Manoukian.
Yeah, Manoukian, yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah, he's now teaching in Paris.
Okay, well you got Judica and Bach, so that's good enough.
Okay.
Next one. Here we go.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, this is more your type of music, right?
Yeah, Duo Melis?
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
so Duo Melis, Dusan Bogdanovic.
Yes, Dusan Bogdanovic.
The piece, Sonata, it's I think it's the third movement. This one.
It's the first movement, but yes.
First movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
The third movement has more strumming chords, but yes.
Yeah.
Sonata Fantasy, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. I thought that might be easy for you, but anyhow.
It is.
I'm very kind sometimes. Okay, next one. Okay, I'll play a later section also. Any idea?
It can be. I don't know the piece, but it can be sore or.
Close, but it's that area of that like era, but less famous composer.
Okay.
French composer.
French.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this is a composer who guitarists know, and some like very nerdy guitarists like to play it, but it's not very known. Like.
Okay. This one is difficult for me.
Can you guess the player maybe? Who plays like unknown classical pieces?
No, like this, no.
It's a player we are also already mentioned.
So wait.
You're like counting.
Duo Melis.
Duo Melis.
Okay, it's done.
Yeah. Let's just say you know this player quite well.
It's Carlo this time.
It's Carlo this time, exactly. Yeah. And
it's stressful because when we know the people, we are.
Yeah, you don't want to say it.
If it's not them, it's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Carlo.
The composer, I don't know.
Carlo playing De Fossa, Francois De Fossa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's a fantasy, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, your video got smaller because the internet cut out, and then it got larger again. Anyways, okay. So Carlo playing Francois De Fossa. Next one. Here, I'll play a later section also. Any idea?
Spanish style? Or is it a trick?
It's maybe if you hear this section. It's an Italian composer.
I mean, I know this style, but I can't say who it is.
Okay,
and I don't know the piece.
It's Casanova Tedesco.
Okay.
Can you guess what set of pieces it's from?
No.
Okay, it's one of the Caprichos de Goya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
This one is called Dios la perdone y eres su madre. It's number 8, I think.
Okay. So Caprichos de Goya, it can be.
It's
Zoran Dukic.
It's not Zoran. It doesn't sound like Zoran, right? So this is okay. No. I'll tell you. This is a guitarist from Asia. I actually was like surprised that this guitarist had recorded all the couple years of the Goya. I did not know that. But this guitarist is known for playing a giant Mussorgsky transcription.
I think I have his face in my mind, but not his name.
He like moves the guitar way too much when he's playing.
Yeah.
It's really
I think it's
extreme. Yeah. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think yes.
Okay.
But the name, no, I'm going to say something wrong. So.
Oh, okay. It's Yamashita.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, but I was scared.
Yeah. No. It's okay. I love watching his performances. Like it's everything. Like I don't like this kind of sound. I don't really love the approach to playing, but I just love every time I see him play. I just love it. I don't know. It's hard to describe.
It was really not like Zoran Dukic. I was surprised.
Yeah, no, it's a very different approach. Yeah. Very extreme. Yeah, but intense. Anyways, Yamashita's amazing. Okay, so next one.
Yeah, it's more my style, but I'm always scared to say something.
Just say it. It's
wrong. It can be not Assad.
Not Assad. No, you have a few guesses, but it's
but Brazilian.
Assad. It's not Brazilian actually. It's French composer.
Okay. Oh. Dians?
Yes, Dians. Yeah. A French composer who steals from many other places.
Yeah. So the piece.
I didn't know this piece before, but I thought maybe you know more Dians than me, so I picked it. Later section. Any idea?
The name of the piece? No.
Okay, it's a Lettre Encore.
Okay. No, I don't.
And the player is a Greek player who recorded a whole CD of Dians.
Greek?
I'm pretty sure she's Greek. Let me check.
Yes. Elena.
Yes.
Papandreou.
Papandreou, yeah.
Papandreou,
okay. Yeah. Ben says gonna go ahead and guess it's from Papandreou's record. Yes, you're correct, Ben. Yeah, I've used this record a bunch of times in the guessing game just because it's such a good CD. I don't know. I keep using it because I like it. Okay, next one. Here, I'll skip the intro so you can hear some of the actual... Any idea?
No. Every time it sounds familiar, but no. I mean, I don't know the piece, but... No, the composer,
The composer, you already guessed this composer once, actually.
No, it's not us.
Sorry?
Sergio Assad?
It's Sergio Assad, yes, correct.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's Assad, yeah, it's very Brazilian, right? And it's from... You don't know the piece, right?
No.
It's from Suite Brasileira number 4.
Okay.
And can you guess the guitarist who recorded this?
Sergio Assad?
It's a French guitarist, actually. Any idea?
French, I have a lot from which generation? Like,
The younger generation, not super young, but like.
like Thomas Villotto.
Yes, Tomobiloto. Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. Okay, one last one. You ready for the last listening test?
Okay.
Any idea?
It's overture.
Yes, correct.
Okay. In I would say Bach, but
Not Bach, but
Weiss.
not Weiss. Not a guitar composer. This is a transcription. Sorry, Bach and Weiss are not guitar composers. What are we talking about? It's not a composer that guitarists often play. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Not a composer for guitarist. It can be.
But a really famous composer from Baroque.
Okay.
Like super, like way more famous than most of the composers we play.
Oh, okay. Well, now I don't know. But I would like to know.
You know it's an overture though. It's Handel.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I didn't know we had transcription for Handel actually.
Yeah. I don't know if this guitarist made the. Can you guess the guitarist from the sound? One of the most famous classical guitarists of all time, I would say.
So late generation.
Yeah, but not like, I don't know. This guitarist is still performing and active today, but it's not young, you know.
No, with the sound I don't know, and there are too many.
Okay, it's David Russell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course.
Yes, but I'm impressed that you knew it was an overture right away. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think it's French style. I learned this with.
Right. Yeah. That's fair. Okay. Cool. Nice. You did pretty good on the listening test, Anne. Not bad. Okay.
Complicated, but.
Yeah, but you did good. Okay. The question I want to ask you, which I ask everyone on the show, is how do you define classical guitar?
Define.
Yes. If you have to explain what it is to somebody, what would you say?
It's a classical guitar. I will say it's all the guitar you can play from, Baroque transcription and even earlier to popular music like Brazilian and I mean classical guitar. For me, classical is not reductive, but you have so many styles with classical style.
Yeah.
And you have so many Brazilian music, South American music, and also you can play Baroque and.
Yeah, I mean you can
and
even
also
play
just to.
Like Beatles songs, you know, arranged.
Yeah, with of course. I mean, Takemitsu has arranged, I think, Beatles songs.
And
so.
Diance has arranged popular music also, right? So.
Yeah, no, I think it's important because I think it's also that's why I really want to teach classical guitar, because you can start without liking classical music. I mean, I started like this, not really. I didn't know classical music. My parents are not musicians at all, so for me, for example, until maybe 15 or 16 years old, I used to say I hated Mozart on Bach. But then with an education, your ear is, I don't know, used to this music, and then you learn how to like it and
Hard to
appreciate it.
appreciate it, yeah.
So then I discovered Baroque music, and I mean, one of my favorite composer to play to the guitar, it's Scarlatti.
Right, yeah.
I love Scarlatti, and but I think if I had listened Scarlatti when I was 11 or 12, when I just began guitar, I would have maybe hated it. So I think it's really important to sometimes you need time to appreciate some music. So, but you have so many different styles with guitar. You can go with Brazilian music and then switch with Baroque and then switch with romantic, and even now I have some period. I can't say I'm not liking it, but for example, all Giuliani, Sor, Legnani, I have played this music, but I feel I don't appreciate it like I should to play this music. I have not really pleasure to play this music, but I'm sure that with education I can learn to play this music. And with Carlo, I had this also. Like sometimes with the Grand Ouverture by Giuliani, for example, for me this piece was like demonstrating virtuosity, and I was not really liking this piece. And then with Carlo, it's completely different.
Yeah.
When he's explaining.
Same here. I played this also in the second year. And I kind of knew, I know what you mean. I think, yeah, I don't want to say that there are styles of classical guitar, like periods of music that I will never enjoy, but I think it is true that everybody's drawn to certain time periods more than others. So certain periods. But yeah, with the right sort of education and teacher and appreciation and understanding of the music, you can, gravitate towards it. At the same time, I think there's a bit of a danger for classical guitarists that we sort of end up with this mentality of like playing your recital exam as a concert where it's like, you have a Baroque and you have romantic and then you have this and you have that, instead of having some individuality in the program that you choose,
I see.
You kind of have to know your identity, but that's also the problem with describing classical guitar to the average person. If you say classical music on a guitar, it doesn't really explain what it is to most people,
because for people who have no education in classical music, if you say classical, it's Beethoven, Mozart, and
that's it, yeah.
But not just the Fifth Symphony of Beethoven and the Magic Flute of Mozart, all the things that you have listened since you're born, but you have so many other things
like
from
we're not
this composer.
That would be accurate if you were describing a concert where someone's playing mostly like Giuliani and Diabelli, but that's not what most classical guitarists actually play.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's a difficult. Anyways, I do think the word classical is a little bit reductive, actually. At the same time, I understand why we have a separate term for classical music as opposed to other music. I just think that it's not the same colloquially for normal people as it is for what it actually is. So.
Yeah, I think we say classical guitar to. It's not electric guitar. It's not folk guitar. So it's classical guitar. We have another word in French. It's guitar sèche, but even guitar sèche, it's like. Acoustic guitar, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's not classical guitar still. I don't know. It's really. So yes, for example, I had a student. I didn't know if he wanted to learn classical guitar or picking style. I didn't know. So when you say, "Do you want to learn classical guitar?" It's always because it's not. If you take. For me, I can say Assad, for example, is classical. I mean, I don't feel like it's classical. Classical, it's weird.
Yeah.
Word, actually.
But then, I don't know, I play contemporary music also, and some of this doesn't seem classical. Like, I play some aleatoric aleatoric music, which is like almost seems more like experimental prog rock, or something. I don't know. Not rock, but like progressive music. Not like, I don't know. Yeah, but then the whole term is just kind of. I think it's become a little bit meaningless,
I don't
know.
I think also.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's complicated. I prefer to say I play guitar.
Yeah, me
and
too.
so you have a lot of opening.
Yeah, that's why my Facebook page, for example, is Michael Ibsen, guitarist, because I'm just like.
Yeah, actually, it's a good idea because me, I don't know. I think it's we are used to the word classical guitar, so yeah, you play classical guitarist, but yeah, in fact.
For the average person,
we can do classical music, but not only.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it also depends how people define that. Anyways, yes. Do you have? Normally, I ask people to share. You're teaching a lot right now, so you told me. I normally ask people to share tips for practicing or technique or musical practice tips. But I guess since you're teaching, you said you had sort of a technique routine you wanted to show.
Yes.
What tips do you have? Maybe for teachers also who are watching, but also for players.
For teachers. Yes. So I will talk as a teacher, let's say, because to deal. Yeah. Wait, I will take the guitar because. So, for example, I try to fight against this position.
Let me
with my students.
I'm gonna put my okay. Yes, can you?
I mean the thumb.
Is it
with the thumb position?
Okay, good. We can see the thumb. That's fine. Go ahead.
So generally, I try to do chromatic scales.
Okay.
I've always done this as a student to warm up. So basically, I don't know if you can hear, but it's like this. And then you accelerate, and when you're here. Okay. And it's like warming up. But actually, for me, it's just warming up. But for students, it's more about not going like this, like the fingers moving a lot from the fingerboard. It's really being just not really, I don't know in English how to say, but staying really next to the fingerboard.
Yes.
I don't know if you see what
I see what you mean, yeah. Sorry, the audio is getting quieter on Zoom. Do you have original sound on? Okay, I don't know. It should be okay. Can you say something?
Yeah.
Oh, it just got.
Still here? It
got quieter. I think people can still hear it. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
I think Zoom got quieter because it heard the guitar, so it turned you down automatically. Yeah, that's really great. I mean, like because a lot of my students also struggle with keeping the third and fourth finger close enough when using the other fingers. I mean, I try to just teach it to them with normal chromatic scales, but that's useful because you have to stay in the same position while you do the da-di-da-di-da. So then they kind of have to, okay, that seems helpful.
Yeah. And generally, I have to be concentrate on this.
Okay.
Even not on speed, but really on being close to the fingerboard.
Yeah.
I think it's important not to have the fingers free.
Well, because you don't have access when you need it then. What other sort of technical routine do you take people through, or do you do yourself?
I'm doing also a lot of slurs. So with 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 4, and then I'm trying to make some rubato with it after.
Ah, okay, interesting.
Not to be like. At the beginning, I'm doing like this, but after with rubato.
Ah, interesting.
Like crescendo and rubato. And sometimes it's harder.
Yeah.
Because you have to deal with the technical aspect, but also with the musical aspect too. I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. I do slurs with open strings also. So you do like a slur on the sixth string and then you play the open fifth string while you hold
Okay.
the fingers down so that you get a really good position with the open string underneath. Which I found really helpful with students because it forces them to be aware when they're touching the next string, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I've never heard of the rubato thing with slurs. That seems useful.
Yeah, in fact, it was like an accident. I was playing like this, and then I thought it was a good idea actually to put sometimes rubato on musical things like crescendo in a technical stuff.
Yeah, that's important. I mean, like it's the same when you practice a piece. If you practice slowly, like I kind of I've started now more so than before using dynamics and articulations and phrasing when I do slow practice also. And encouraging my students to do the same, because if they learn the passage through slow practice without the dynamics, it's not going to come very easily later, right?
Yeah, but also not only students. I mean, it's a huge problem for me also sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Because in fact, when you learn a passage slowly and you do that sort of slow, very, very gradual practice, you actually memorize all the motions and you memorize the amount of pressure that you use. So if you're not doing the dynamics, your right hand pressure is going to be totally wrong for later.
Yeah.
Which is problematic. And that's a big thing. I'm sure you found this with Carlo. That's a big thing with Carlo, was adding articulations from step one, you know?
Yeah. But you have to work a lot because I used to, when I was sight reading, just play without thinking about music, and then when the piece was coming up, I was thinking about the interpretation.
Yeah.
So it's the easier way for me, but it's longer because then you have to learn the technical thing and then to search your interpretation.
Right.
And I remember I played, I think it was Presto by Bach, and Carlo was really, we were working on all the articulation, and it was very, very, very difficult for me to learn a piece, sight reading, with all the articulation.
Yeah.
And but then the piece was ready faster. I don't know how to.
Yeah. No, I know
because
exactly.
You have not to search.
You're not like
after
changing. Your muscle memory. No, I mean, this is huge, and I almost always try to decide on articulation at the same time as like deciding fingering. And in fact, the fingering should come from the articulation, right?
Yeah, it's true.
This is the other problem, is if you don't care about articulation, then, or color, if you don't care about articulation, color, and phrasing, then your fingering is going to be totally changed later, because when you go to add the articulation, you're going to realize, oh, some cross string thing would be better here, or whatever. So yeah,
Carlo said you don't have to choose your fingering, the easier fingering, but the musical fingering.
Yeah. He takes
the one with
to the extreme sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Carlo can sometimes be like, sometimes he gives me when he was my teacher. I'm done now, so, you know. But back when I was studying there, he would give me like, you know, some fingering where it's like you sort of do a calculation in your head. You're like, this is like 70% likely to make me like miss this note, and the musical benefit is not like that. So you have to sort of, I think you have to weigh sometimes the benefits of a particular fingering. You know, or maybe.
Yeah, I think you have to deal with these two things.
Yeah. Maybe for one person it's like the risk is not so high, but for you, with where you're at right now, you know that it's, anyways,
yeah, the fingerings are actually very personal. It's a personal thing. I discovered this with Alexis Mouzourakis from Duo Melis, because sometimes he's really doing fingering, crazy fingerings. But amazing fingerings. For him it's easy, and then when you try to to do it, it's difficult and not natural. So
yeah. But then also sometimes when you do that, you when you study with a teacher who has some very eccentric fingerings, let's say, or eccentric approach to particular things, you sort of take it on board and then you have it later to use, you know. So sometimes you can absorb these things. It doesn't always work, but I don't know. For example, with Carlo, he was often, you know, getting me to do cross string slurs, so slurring a string after you play a different one open or something, you know. And at first it was so hard for me. I was like, this is ridiculously difficult. And then he forced me to do it, and not forced me, but he like asked me to do it in a few places. And now I can, you know, use it if it makes sense for phrasing and articulation. It's like quite a bit easier for me to apply. So, you know, there's something to be said when you're a student, especially for like trying to increase your toolkit of available options, you know.
Yeah, I think as a student, at the very beginning, I was a bit like rejecting something and saying, no, it's not for me. I don't want to play like this. But sometimes you really have to force yourself. And then later you discover that. I had also this with Carlo for Introduction and Caprice by Regondi. The first piece I had. And I learned it with Alexis from Duo Melis. And then I switched and I played with Carlo, and it was completely different interpretation. So at the beginning, I was so used to play this piece in a free form. Like I was not really caring about the score of the rhythm. It was really free. And Carlo was really like, it's not possible to play this piece like this. And I was a bit shocked. I was like, no, I like the way I'm playing, but I forced myself, and at the end, I understand then later what he was saying. And now I play it, I think, completely different. It's really evolving. I think you must be open to all the suggestion and ideas.
You know, it's such a pain to like play a piece with a piece you've known for a long time with a new teacher or a new approach. Even if it's not a teacher, if you just come up with a new approach to the piece, it's such a pain. But I think that everyone has to do this with at least one piece, because it teaches you that lesson of flexibility, which otherwise you wouldn't learn, you know. And I have this with Junto a Generalife by Rodrigo. I played this piece now for 6 years, 7 years, I think. And I played it for all my teachers. I've played it for like in master classes for like Marchione, other people. And so, and of course the fact that I play it every year, I use it in some competitions, and I use it when I have to make some concerts or play some videos or whatever. It's one of my like warhorse pieces. And every year, sometimes I leave it for 3 or 4 months and I don't play it, and then I bring it back for performing or something. And I have to say that even though it's a pain to always be changing things, what it teaches me about how to learn a new piece is phenomenal. And what I've learned from every teacher on it and different approaches, it's great to have a piece like that, you know, where you see so many different ways of approaching it from so many different people. I think that's really valuable. Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, for me it was Introduction and Caprice by Regondi. It's really the piece. I think it's like now maybe 4 or 5 years I'm playing it. I played it in every competition, every concert, even for my final exam. Maybe not last year, but the first year I played it. I played it also for my final master exam, and it's never the same interpretation.
It's good. You learn a lot about yourself. It's also nice when you record it a few years apart and then you listen back and you see what you improved on, you know?
Yeah, it's true. And sometimes, I don't know if you have that also, but you're practicing a piece maybe too much, and at the end you're just full of it. You want to put it back. And so, for example, Regondi, I spent maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year without playing it at all. And then I take it back and it's better. And I didn't work for 1 year, but suddenly it sounds completely different and free. And
I have the same thing. Relearning pieces is so nice because you see so much.
Sometimes you have to let go to understand. Then it's a really I never understand this this thing,
Yeah.
but I think it's important also.
Yeah, I think that our brains kind of like we kind of, how do you say, like we sort of retain stuff, and then when we don't do it, we kind of process it, I think, subconsciously a little bit. Even if you leave a piece for 1 week, sometimes you come back to it and things have clicked that weren't there before. Whereas if you play it every day, you end up just hitting your head against the same passages, yeah. That's why it's important to start things way ahead of time, so that you have time to like work on it, give it a break, work on it, give it a break,
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to some more music. We're going to listen to Tedesco now. So this is Capriccio number 20?
Yes.
Obsequio al Maestro. So I think maybe people who are listening already know, but Tedesco wrote 24 capriccios after Goya, the artist, and they're all kind of dark. But do you want to talk about this one? I'm going to put the picture of the capriccio, actually the original Goya etching, which Tedesco based the piece on. I'll put it up on the screen so people can see it, and you can tell us about the image and the piece.
Yeah, it's a drawing from Goya.
Yeah.
By Goya, and it's you're right. It's really dark atmosphere and pieces, but also very beautiful. I think very emotional pieces.
Yeah.
And I played this one. I played also Novo Remedio
with
Jesse Raitem, and it's every time it's weird atmosphere, but very
beautiful.
Yes, sad, beautiful, and
Yeah, I played.
And I think it's
3 of them in the Masters, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I think the one with the very long title.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
El sueño de la razón produce monstruos. This one.
Yes, this one.
Yeah.
Is so difficult but so beautiful also.
Yeah, I played that last year in my first exam of the year. Yeah.
I think it's my favorite one.
Yeah. Alex Dunn is saying copper plate engraving. I didn't know it was on copper plate. Cool.
It's what? Sorry?
Copper plate engraving. Yeah. So what's the image here? We have, there's like an older woman. Do you know what's the image here? There's a small child. This is very creepy looking. What is this one about? Obsequio al Maestro.
I remember the image. Yeah, it's like an homage to the Maestro, but from Goya. Yeah, it's like someone who's kneeled. I don't know the.
Yeah, kneeling. Yeah.
Yeah, kneeling, and but I don't know if. I guess it's someone who dies. I mean, in the music, it's a bit like this.
Okay, cool. And Tedesco uses in this one just a very beautiful melody with some lush harmonies and everything. Yeah. Alex Dunn is saying "Gift to the Master." That's the translation. That's right. It's "Gift to the Master."
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to Tedesco. The ending surprised me because it's so like quick, dumb.
Yeah.
So it's caught me off guard. Beautifully played. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I really want to play all of these, and sometimes I pull them out just to like read the ones that I don't know, but they're so hard that it's like
Yeah. No.
sight reading them is just like a nightmare, even though they're so beautiful. Yeah. Alex Dunn, thank you, Alex, for chiming in, says it also has a Pizzetti quote, who was Tedesco's teacher.
Okay.
I didn't know that. Did you know that Tedesco taught many film composers, including John Williams, the film composer?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so the guy
Okay.
who wrote the soundtrack for Star Wars and for Harry Potter,
Yeah.
etc., studied with Tedesco, so yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
If you give Tedesco
Sweet.
to your students, you can be like, you know.
If you play Tedesco, you can play Star Wars then.
Yeah, exactly. Very cool. Nice. Well, we're going to play some Would You Rather, and do you know how Would You Rather works?
Explain me, just.
Basically, I
case.
give you two options that really are, both of them suck really badly, and then you have to pick one.
Okay. Okay.
So, and then you have to also explain your choice, you know.
Okay.
So let's say you're in school and you like pick your exam program in, I don't know, September or October. You know, sometimes at the beginning of the year you play like a few things for your teacher, and then you try and decide together what the exam will be in like June or May or whatever, you know. So let's say you get to March and you've learned everything really well by March. Say your exam is in May, so 2 more months or like a month and a half. And would you rather change all of your articulations, fingerings, and dynamics, like completely new approach for every single piece, or would you rather change half of your exam program?
Whoa. Too bad option. I think I will change half of my exam program actually.
How come?
Because I will articulation. It's really I have so much difficulties to change this. I know in 2 months it will be very difficult. I'm not ready, and if I change a piece, at least it depends. If it's a new piece, it's complicated. If it's an old piece,
yeah, you could do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But no, articulation for me it's very very difficult. And if you have habits with previous articulation, it's one of the most difficult thing to change, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. Sorry, my cat's going crazy. I don't know what. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I think articulation is the hardest to change. Articulation and like maybe dynamics. Those are a bit easier. Maybe. Yeah,
I think articulation is a pretty harsh one.
Yeah. Alex Dunn also says that ending is from Tedesco's Violin Sonata. I did not know that either. You're gonna have to go listen to the Violin Sonata now. Yeah, cool. Okay, would you rather play a concert with a very small audience that really appreciates what you are doing, or play a concert for a really large audience that doesn't respond very much?
For now, a small audience who is appreciating
Yeah.
it. Because I have also a problem with stress and nervousness when I'm playing on stage. So for me, small public is great.
Sometimes
large audience.
Sometimes a small public is harder to play for, though. Well,
yeah,
it depends.
True.
It depends.
It depends. Yeah.
What type of public?
Yeah. But if you feel that they appreciate, generally it gives you energy.
True. Yes, very true.
I don't know. I'm really sensitive to the public, actually, to the reaction of the public, because I'm thinking of a lot of things. So if I want someone in front of me smiling, it's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel better.
Okay. Let's say someone puts a gun to your head and says you either have to memorize and perform all 6 violin sonatas and partitas by Bach in 6 months,
Okay.
or you're only allowed to play Carcassi etudes for 6 months. It's the only thing you can play on the guitar.
Oh no, Bach.
Bach, even though you have to do all 6.
Yeah, I prefer Bach.
Okay. But I mean, like
Playing Carcassonne for 6 months, it's hard.
yeah, but I mean, you have to like learn and perform all 6 of the sonatas and partitas in 6 months. That's...
Yeah, but it's a good challenge.
Yeah, okay, it's true. Yeah, it's a good challenge. And if it doesn't go super well, you can just be like, look, I was forced to do this, you know.
Yeah. In 6 months. It's okay.
Okay, if you had to learn and memorize in 1 week for a performance, which of these 2 pieces would you choose? So like pretend, I don't know if you played these pieces before, but pretend you never tried playing them before. Would you rather learn and memorize in 1 week Duo Canzone Lidie or Tedesco Sonata?
Duo Canzone Lidie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I love this piece. Really, and I really want to learn it. So it's difficult.
Yeah.
But even sometimes I have less difficulty to learn like contemporary. Tedesco is hard to learn actually.
Okay, yeah.
And for example, I have more difficulties to learn maybe, I don't know. For example, I remember Sonata by Ginastère.
Yeah.
For me was really easy to learn.
Right, yeah.
Because it's the writing, particular writing. Yeah, so... And Giuliani is harder, for example.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Yeah, Giuliani is harder because it's just like the harmony doesn't... I don't know, yeah, it's harder for me to keep straight what comes when, you know.
But yeah, no, Duo Canzone Lidie, it's... I would like to learn and to play it soon.
Would you rather play only one composer for a year or only one type of piece, like a prelude, sonata, etc.?
Maybe just one. I don't know. The two are great actually. But maybe one composer.
Really?
Because then at the end of the year you can say you really know this composer, I think.
True.
You really go on it, but also playing just a prelude or sonata, or you can I don't know, go more with different period and different style and different...
Yeah, I feel like doing that, I mean, I feel like doing either one you could really research a lot too. You could really become an expert in either that composer or that type of piece, you know. There's a lot you could learn. Cool. All right. Well, before we wrap up, we wanted to talk about transcriptions. There's actually in the description, there's a link for a transcription you made. So how did you discover transcribing music, and what's your experience been with that?
But I discovered transcribing with this student. First with Alexis Mouzorakis again, who is really transcribing a lot for Duo Melis, and also for a student. And we made a lot of transcription together. So it was really nice because he was doing all the job, but at the end he was saying, no, say it's you transcribed it. But I really learned it with him. And then I had this student I was talking about, who was learning folk music. And so I learned also to transcribe from pop music or folk music or to classical guitar. And it was also interesting. And then, it's with Duo Melis, and principally with Duo Melis, I learned how to transcribe. And then also during the lockdown, actually, I had way more time. I transcribed for Sophie and I, for soprano voice and guitar, because we wanted more repertory. So it was nice. Sometimes she was giving me pieces and I was transcribing it. And so, for example, Les Filles de Cadix from Delib, I have made the transcription.
Yeah, the one, if people want to buy it, they can follow the link in the description of the video.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so during the lockdown, I have transcribed a Sonata 450 by Scarlatti.
Cool.
And actually, duo guitarists, my friend who were with me in Strasbourg, they played it in duo. and
Nice.
I love this piece. And so I'm trying to play it in solo, but it's complicated.
Yeah, there's so
But
many
it's
scale
easy.
levels. It
It
will
will
happen.
be
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, it will happen. And also, I've tried to transcribe the prelude by Chopin.
Nice.
Some preludes by Chopin. I'm just exercising right now
Cool.
to see how it's working. And yeah, it's nice. I really like
Awesome.
transcription.
I like it too. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I did Scarlatti K77 with Carlo.
Mm-hmm.
And I made that transcription. I mean, he helped a lot. He helped me choose a better key and stuff. So, same kind of thing where like a lot of the changes were his idea, but I was like, well, should I put you in the title? And he's like, it's fine, you know. So.
Yeah, I think at the beginning you really, and even not at the beginning, you always need to see also what others are doing.
Yeah.
I know, for example, Sonata 450 by Scarlatti, I choose the same tonality that Duo Guitarist. Because so I got also inspiration from them.
Yeah.
And then I try to find my fingerings on ornamentation, which is difficult but very interesting. I like also a lot to transcribe Scarlatti or pieces for harpsichord or piano. It's really interesting.
Cool. Yeah, I love making transcriptions too. And also, I think when you transcribe, you become better at playing. And I know this is gonna sound not just playing. Sorry, I mean playing. This is gonna sound kind of sacrilegious, but you become better at adapting music that exists for yourself. For example, Tedesco. I mean, if you play Tedesco, you kind of know it's sort of an open secret that a lot of it's not really playable, right? I mean, he was not a guitarist, and most of the pieces are not that well edited. Or if you play Ponce and you find some manuscript and you have to make transcription decisions, let's say, on that music, you become better at doing this by doing transcriptions yourself, because you discover how to express yourself through the guitar. Or if you play someone else's transcription, like right now we're playing, Jessica and I are playing a lot of Hopstock versions of Lorca and Faya, and or not Faya, Lorca and Debussy and Fauré, and some of that, like, it's useful that I've transcribed some things myself, because I can sort of look at the original, look at his transcription, and then choose how to adjust it for myself. So
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if I only played other people's music and never transcribed myself, I wouldn't know how to make those decisions, you know. So.
Yeah, no, and you are also in a way a freedom. I mean, you're a bit stuck with the original score, but then you have a complete freedom for ornamentation, for fingerings, for a lot of things. And yeah, I like that. It's like you come from nowhere and you're slowly building all the things up. And yeah, I really like this feeling also. And then at the end, you're really proud of this. And it's still changing with time.
Yeah.
Even now when I'm practicing Scarlatti, I'm like, oh, maybe this would be better.
Yeah. Yeah. But in fact, that freedom should be brought to all music, you know, that you play.
Yeah,
basically.
it's true.
That's the thing. Anyhow, yeah, awesome. Nice. Well, before we wrap up, where do you think classical guitar is going, or where do you want it to go? What is the future for us, or what would you like to see more of or less of?
You mean me? For
no, our instrument.
The future.
Classical guitar.
Oh, our instruments. I hope we will have a lot of composer for guitar.
Okay.
And I think contemporary music, yeah, it's really important to have a new repertory, and yeah, I think it's one of the most important things to have new scores, new music, and to make live this instrument.
Awesome. Nice. Okay, well, let's play the lightning round really quick, and then we're going to listen to you play some contemporary music by Sergio Assant. Speaking of this. Okay, so the lightning round, I'm going to give you 2 options, and you have to answer as fast as possible, okay?
Okay.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Bogdanovich or Brouwer?
Brouwer.
Scarlatti or Bach?
Scarlatti.
Okay, we knew that already. Vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Solo or chamber?
Solo.
That's a hard one, I know. Mammals or reptiles?
Reptiles.
Ah, wow, what a surprise. Beer or wine?
Wine.
Claudio Abbado or Herbert von Karajan?
Or who? Sorry.
Herbert von Karajan. Karajan.
Claudio Abbado.
Pizza or pasta?
Pasta.
Liszt or Chopin?
Chopin.
Cedar or spruce?
Oh. Cedar.
Okay, free stroke or rest stroke, like tirando apoyando?
Tirando.
Okay, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Debussy or Ravel?
Debussy.
Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
Italy or Spain?
Italy.
Campanella or regular scales?
Campanella.
Me too. We see eye to eye on so many things, Anne. This is good. Sor or Giuliani or neither?
Let's say Giuliani.
Yeah, me too. Everyone always says Sor, and I'm like, but it's so boring.
I prefer Giuliani.
Yeah, me too. It's much more fun. I don't know. Maybe I know it's maybe not as deep as Sor, but it's just so much more fun. Okay, sweet or salty?
Yeah. Sweet.
Tremolo or scales?
Scales.
Okay, Horowitz or Rubinstein?
Rubinstein.
Rodrigo, Tedesco or Ponce?
Tedesco.
Me too. Concert or masterclass?
Masterclass.
Restoration of the composer's intention or personal interpretation?
Oh. Personal interpretation.
Okay. Bream or Segovia?
Bream.
Mountains or beaches?
Beaches.
And the most important one, carbon or nylon?
Sorry?
Carbon or nylon?
Oh, nylon.
Nylon, really? I thought you played carbon. I thought, okay, interesting.
No. It's a Dadario nylon.
Okay, very cool. Nice. Is there anything more you want to say, Anne?
Well, thank you a lot for having me tonight.
No worries.
Thanks to you.
Yeah.
It was really nice. So it was really nice to talk about all these things and also to have all this new knowledge in a way. So
yeah,
thank
me
you
too.
very much.
I'm going to use that chromatic scale exercise with my students now.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, this is good. And I can tell them it's from my friend Anne in Paris.
Thank you.
Yeah, they'll love it, I'm sure. Well, they'll probably be annoyed that I'm giving them another technique exercise, but it's okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Cool. So before we end, thank you everyone for watching. Tune in on Friday for the last episode of season 2, which is with Alec Pearson. He's going to play some music that he composed, so that'll be cool. And we're going to listen to you play Sergio Assad's very nice video we made in Maastricht.
Yes.
What's this piece about?
It's Fantasia Carioca, and it's one of my favorite pieces.
Nice.
So it's really also about atmosphere, and it's really different mood in this piece, which is a wonderful piece. I discovered thanks to a friend of mine in Strasbourg. He was always playing it, so I take the piece after.
Nice. Yeah, we always steal our repertoire from other people, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So thanks to him.
Nice. Okay, so Fantasia Carioca by Sergio Assad. Thank you, Anne. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Yeah, tune in on Friday for the next one. Okay.